calling, I'm running.
Hi, I'm Marcus Coward, and this is Wake Up New Bedford, and I'm here with Miguel Sevasin. Miguel, thanks again for being here.
Hey, thank you for having me, man.
So, as we were talking about when you first got here, this isn't your first interview or your first time on camera, okay? And so, we both know someone named Ian who has his own podcast. Can you tell me how you first came into contact with him?
I met him at the KO gym.
Okay.
He was just training with my striking coach. And then one day he messaged me. He was like, hey, like, I'd love to do some content with you. I'm trying to get into it a little bit with the MMA fighters. I'd love to start out with you. And I was appreciative of that because, like, I don't have any content coming out, really.
Sure.
So I was like, yeah, sure. Like, I love that. So then he started coming to my training sessions, doing like little vlogs of like behind the scenes stuff that nobody really gets to see.
Sure.
And everyone really liked it. I got my following went up a little bit more on social media.
Okay.
So kind of started, and obviously him and I built a relationship because I kept seeing him. So now he's onto his own thing, and he's doing other vlogs for other gyms locally, like BTT, BCBC, the Bristol County Barbell Club, with my strength and conditioning coach. So he's doing really well.
And so, when you go on these podcasts or do these interviews, are you doing it because you're interested in it, or because this is also going to help promote you as a fighter?
Both, you know,
Yeah.
because I now, like, I never would have really got to meet you or Wake Up New Bedford, be on the show, and so that's really cool. And then also, like, it helps me grow my followings, and people can see what I do. And also helps, like, whatever, like, my followers are now going to follow Wake Up New Bedford.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, because I asked that because I'm interested in, like, the promotion of a fighter. So, like, one, are you in charge of your own promotion? Or, like, is someone on your team helping you with that?
I'm in charge for it for the most part. No one really helps me now.
And so, you said that UFC and, you know, Bellator or the PFL will look at whoever's the biggest and best fighter in the smaller leagues. But are they only looking at the record, or do they also pay attention to social media followings?
They actually do pay attention to social media followings. Yeah, they actually care about, like, you know, is he up? You know, he posts a lot. Does he do, like, show, like, what he's doing, like all the content, whatever. They actually they're very interested in that because they don't want somebody who's like a killer and has 200 followings. You know, they'd rather have somebody. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know they would pay attention to that. Like, I just learned that, you know, like actors and actresses, like the production team and the directors are looking to see what their follow counts are, because that kind of correlates to how many viewers they're going to get, like, for the movie. But are they thinking the same thing as far as for the more followers you have, the more people who are going to see you and, like, buy tickets to watch your fight?
I would assume so, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that about the actors.
Yeah. I feel like it's more of a recent thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so, even before you were a fighter, is, like, social media something you cared about? And, like, about your follower count or things like that? Were you even into social media, like, before you started fighting?
Not really, no.
Okay.
I mean, I post funny memes on Facebook. That's about it.
So you really started to pick it up once you realized that it could help you in your promotion as a fighter?
Yeah.
Okay. And so, other fighters in your league, are they doing the same thing, or do you feel like you kind of have a leg up on that?
Oh no, they're doing the same thing. Everyone knows it. It's no secret. Some people do it a lot better than I do. You know, I post a picture with a really cool caption and some music. That's really about it. Everyone else is they're doing videos of, like, them hitting mitts in the park. Like, I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I'm not gonna do that. Like,
why not?
I don't know. I think that's too much. You know, like, that's just not what I would do. But
Sure.
maybe I'm boring. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. One to each his own, for sure. But I definitely understand where you're coming from, where you really want to just think about the fighting in a lot of ways and just do what you got to do, and it seems maybe a little bit unnecessary.
Yeah.
Or it feels kind of weird to you and feels a little bit awkward maybe.
Yeah, probably feels a little bit awkward.
Yeah.
I would rather just, if I'm hitting mitts, I'd rather just do it somewhere where no one else is really seeing. It's just me and my coach, and that's it. Play some music, that's it. Where if I'm doing it in a park, I feel like I'm doing it in a crowd, and I'm doing it for the crowd. You know what I mean? Which is like, I get it at that, you know what I mean? Like, now you've just built a couple more fans.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Now, do you get nervous, like when you're fighting or when you're in front of people?
I mean, everyone's gonna lie. Like, I'm not gonna lie and say like, no, I don't get nervous. You know, you're about to get in a fist fight in your underwear. Like, come on.
Okay. I haven't heard it put it like that. Okay. No, true.
You know, I'm not trying to get mauled in front of my mom.
Yeah.
So, like, I am nervous. It doesn't matter who it is. It could be someone who's like never won a fight, or it could be somebody who's, you know, a savage. It doesn't matter. I'll still be nervous. But it's like when I get into the closed doors and they're saying your name in front of everybody and they're cheering, like, it all goes away.
So the cheering helps, like, quiet those nerves? It doesn't, like...
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it does for me. I can't speak for everybody else, but as soon as the door's locked and they're saying my name and everyone's cheering, that's what gets me going. It gets me pumped.
So you like being the center of attention?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
You come across as a very, like... I mean, I met you today, but like kind of like a quiet, reserved, humble individual.
Oh no, dude, that's not me at all.
Good to know. Okay, for sure. Okay, so complete opposite. Very competitive.
Yeah.
Able to handle the pressure. Okay, and you're gonna embrace the challenge.
Yeah, absolutely, I love to shine.
Love to shine.
Yeah.
Okay, and so, do you have an expectation as far as for what your record will need to be in order for the UFC to notice you?
Yeah, I have like a ballpark.
Okay.
I would say probably about 6 to 10. I have to be undefeated.
Okay.
So I'm not far off. I'm only 4-0. So it could be 2 fights. It could be 5 more fights.
Okay.
I don't know. So it's kind of like they tell me. You know what I mean?
And so do you think it will be a really big skill jump between where you are at now and then the UFC? Or is it more so just there's going to be more eyes on you in the UFC? But the people you're fighting now are probably going to be around just as good.
So I'm in the lightweight division, and like, it's kind of no secret, but the lightweight division is the most stacked division.
Sure. Okay.
Because most guys are walk around my weight and cut to my weight class. So like, my division, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a tough road.
Yeah.
So I think like on the local scene, there are a couple guys who I've beaten who could definitely go to the UFC and do pretty well.
Okay, that's good.
That's why they say to test yourself locally. So the Cage Titans does it really well, because your first fight, what they don't tell you is like it's a can. You know, they give you some guy who's like 0-7.
Okay.
Hasn't won.
Okay.
You know, he's from New York. You know, just some bum dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
don't do New Jersey like that.
Yeah.
No. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So because they want you to get used to knees to the head, elbows. Your second fight, now it's a little bit tougher. You know, mine was really tough because I ended up actually fighting some kid from Las Vegas who was originally from Massachusetts, but moved to Las Vegas and trained at one of the best gyms in the world for 1.5 years.
Okay.
So he came back. He was just a total different fighter, and it was a war for me. And I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah,
I thought I was gonna go in there and breeze through this,
exactly.
you know. But no, it was tough.
Yeah.
And then my third fight was like this all-American wrestler, very very high level. I beat him too. So like, each fight gets gradually tougher. Just by a little smidge, but that's how Cage Titans promotes it. They want to see what you can handle each fight. And that's the same with the UFC. They're the same way. They want to see where your hole's at, and they want to see if you're fixing them. So each fight. But these guys are like world-class beaters.
Yeah. And It sounds like you have a really good memory of your record so far, but when you're in the fight, is it kind of a blur, or do you remember basically all of it?
Oh, it's a blur.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't remember anything.
Okay, really?
No. I don't, like, honestly, I just zone out. Like,
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm just, like, flowing. You know
And
what
just
I mean?
like going off of instinct.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's why the training's so important. It's not like you can just like improv it. You know,
Right,
you got to be
right.
prepared going into that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So, what is the Massachusetts and local scene like? One, do we have a lot of gyms compared to like maybe other places you heard of, or do we not have that many? I mean, because as a fighter, I really don't know that much, if anything, about the fight scene.
So I've only trained at a handful of gyms out of Massachusetts. Syndicate in Las Vegas, which have like they're like the fighting gyms around the world, right? The biggest fighting gyms. I trained there. They have some really high level guys that, like, when I was training with them, it was kind of like I was hanging with them just fine.
Okay.
And then I just went recently to Florida, and I trained with Billy Q, and he's like Billy Quarantello. He just fought recently in the UFC.
Okay.
He has his own gym out there, and Joe Lozon like helps me with those connections to get me to these good gyms when I travel.
Sure.
So I would say the training is somewhat similar. The competition, I would say, is almost the same thing. It's somewhat similar. They do things a little bit differently with their gym than we do here.
Okay.
Like their team training days are different than our team training days. I won't get into specifics of what it is, but
yeah. And so, it's not hard to find a fight here. Like, there's plenty of fighters in Massachusetts. You're saying?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. The question is, do I want to fight a high-level prospect and then maybe risk getting injured, and then, or fight somebody who's like going to give me good work but still get noticed?
And that high-level prospect you're saying is probably going to be somewhere else. You'd have to travel.
I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that, like, I think like the top guys in each division, like my friend, for instance, my roommate, Jack Congdon, he's fighting in a couple weeks. He's like this close to the UFC. And he just fought a guy from New York who came down here from New York, and he was ranked #1 in New England.
Wow.
And yeah, he fought my friend, and he beat my friend, but it was a war.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I think like that's what you need to do. You need to get these top level prospects, bring them here, kind of, because I would rather lose in front of 3,000 people than get to the UFC and lose in front of 30,000 people.
Yeah.
You know.
But you did mention how the UFC is really looking for that undefeated record. Do you think that's gonna like really hurt his chances?
No, because at the same time they still want talented fighters. Just because you have an O doesn't mean anything. You could fought.
They're gonna watch the fight.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
He's fought top guys and just beating them in the first round. So
Okay.
he's fun to watch.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's what makes. So if you're exciting and fun to watch and like a knockout artist, like they'll still hire you.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, because I mean that really could be really dismissive if like all they're looking for is the undefeated and not really researching the fighter. That they're going for.
Yeah. No, they really do care about the O.
Yeah.
But at the same
It sounds
time,
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Like you see it on TV. Oh, undefeated versus undefeated. Who gets the job? You know what I mean? That's fun.
Yeah.
Where if this guy's like he's 10-3 and he's 10-4, like no one really cares.
Yeah.
As much.
And so, I'm curious to either friends or young people, or even like when you plan to have kids, if you do, would you recommend MMA and fighting to them?
Yeah. I tell all my friends to do it just to
Yeah?
try it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe not like get into the cage, but at least baby steps.
Okay. And why is that? Why would you recommend it?
Because I think you get a certain confidence from it.
Yeah.
Just learning how to properly defend yourself. Like I would want my daughter to know.
Okay.
If I don't have kids.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
If I did, I would definitely have my daughter do it, have my son do it, see where they want to do. At least just learn the basics. You know.
And what would you want them to get started with?
Probably either jiu-jitsu or wrestling. One of the two. Yeah, whichever.
So grappling, not striking.
No, not striking. No.
Okay.
No.
Because a lot of people do get started with like boxing and like they fall in love with that. But you would say that the ground game is more important, or maybe like just a better foundation, or
better foundation. I wouldn't say it's more important.
Sure.
I would definitely say you definitely need to know.
Okay. And what's your favorite part of all of the different styles you've learned so far?
So I love striking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's so fun, just like getting your fist, punch somebody through their face. You know what I mean?
Tell me more.
Yeah. Just seeing them drop. It's just it's so cool.
Yeah.
Or my favorite is a body shot. You know, you hit somebody with a nice body shot and they drop. You know, because it's just like yeah. But I'm starting to fall in love with the grappling. It was really hard for me for a while because like I'm just like this is boring. I'm not learning anything. And then I switched gyms to this Forge gym in the Cape with Matt Waddell, and he kind of like he makes it fun. You know, it's not just like hey, put your arm here, put this there. He makes it like really fun. Everything's like for a purpose. It's very competitive, and everyone in the room is super competitive. So it's my place. You know what I mean? Like I love that place now.
Yeah. And so were you fighting before COVID, or this was like you started it?
Yeah, I was 0-2 before COVID.
Okay. And then so that break, did that like during COVID, was that a good time for you to be training, or did that kind of like deter you and like slow you down in your process, you feel like?
So a lot of gyms closed, right?
Okay.
But like they didn't really they just had the door for the keys and you come through the back.
Sure,
you know
sure. Okay.
I'm not gonna say what gyms. Just
No, it's okay. Yeah.
But and I think that was what I needed, to be honest with you, because I wouldn't have came back more prepared. Because I kind of like really sat down during COVID because no fights were going on. It's just I was constantly training.
Yeah, and how big is? Would you say traveling in order to go to these different camps is like a necessary part of training?
Absolutely. I think a lot of people should do it. Some people just stay at their one gym. Maybe that's what they need, but I like learning from different people.
And so that traveling, is it coming out of your pocket, or is there like a team expense or fund for that?
No, it comes out of my pocket.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So is fighting like an expensive sport to get started with?
It is.
Yeah.
Because the gyms, you got to pay for the gyms. You got to pay for, you got private sessions. Your gear, but your gear is not very expensive. But
Sure. And then the nutrition too. Is that like, are you able to talk to me about nutrition? How important is it? And are you eating like more expensive because you have to be a little bit more strict, or are you eating like more cheaply because of it?
So like out of camp, I used to like eat whatever I want.
Okay.
I would get really heavy, and it wouldn't be muscle. So, but like I just realized like each cut was getting very, very difficult. Like by a cut, you have to sit in the sauna. Whatever's left, you got to make it by that day. You know, and as I'm getting older, it was everything's getting slower. So. Before I would eat like Subway and I'm still losing weight. Now it's like I eat Subway, I blow up 5 pounds. Like
really?
Well, not 5 pounds, but yeah, it's very hard for me to cut it.
Yeah.
So now I have to like really track everything, and I made the move to get a nutritionist, and this was my last flight. Was by far the best camp I've ever had. Nutrition wise.
Okay.
I felt stronger every day. I wasn't starving myself. I just looked healthier. He like walked me through it. So I'm sitting in the sauna. Obviously, it's an all-day affair.
Sure.
Like sometimes, not me. Some people get like panic attacks because they're in there.
Okay.
They'll cry. They'll whatever. Because
during the camp?
During the cut, like last day cut.
Okay. Yeah.
It's very, very intense.
Yeah.
So he called me through it. He's talking to me on the phone, FaceTime me. If I need a break, he was like, "Oh, well, take this," and he like helped me through that. And like you don't really get that, from anywhere else. So
sure. And so, Is it really just fighters, as far as for like professional fighters that are in your camp or just like in your gym? Because I've also heard of a lot of police officers, taking either jujitsu, really jujitsu, I've heard, in order to like complement their work, and that they find that it's a great way to stay in shape. But I've heard people say that, a lot of police officers should have extra, like fighting experience, I guess, in order to not like lean on their taser or their gun.
Yeah. No, that's 100% true.
Yeah.
I think all cops should do that. Some of my best friends, they're cops and they train jiu-jitsu. Most places will like train you until you get your blue belt. So for cops, it'll be free until you get your blue belt.
Really?
Which is usually a year and a half. But now you have a year and a half, completely free. You can go whenever you want, and you learn so much how to properly defend yourself and not whip out something like that.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. And so I'll look into that. I mean, I'm myself thinking about being a police officer, and I've never done jiu-jitsu. Like, okay, so let me ask you this, okay? So, like I said, I've done 4 years of wrestling in high school, and I was talking to someone who said that, they took maybe 8 days off from doing their own jiu-jitsu training, and they feel like they've lost so much of it. But when I think back to comparing myself to someone who's never done wrestling to me who has those 4 years, but I haven't done it since I was 17, which side are you on? Do you think that I'm still better than the average person who's never done wrestling, or do you think I've basically lost it all in like the 10 years that I haven't done it?
Ooh, that's a good question. 10 years is a long time. I still think that you would have the better of them.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't know for sure. I'd have to see it.
But you feel like you are able to retain a lot, or like if you go a couple weeks or like a month without training, then you're going to lose a lot, you're saying?
A month is a long time.
Yeah.
Especially if you I don't know how frequently they train or anything.
They were saying
like
4 or 5 days a week.
Okay. You might forget a little, but not much. You won't forget much. Like I don't forget much, and I take 2 weeks off after every fight. I'm still back into it. You might forget like little stuff, like, oh, where's my hand perfectly placed, but it'll come back quickly.
Exactly. It seemed like he was like exaggerating a little bit. Like I get what he's saying, that like you shouldn't just rely on that old training. You should definitely try and keep yourself current. But I don't know. I still feel pretty good.
I would feel confident in that too. I don't think you'll forget everything. It might come back to you as you go.
And somebody else that you brought up was like, he was really advocating for me to join a gym because I want to be a police officer, and so he said like, you would have trouble taking me down, or like arresting me. And I'm like, I mean, and he's like a big guy, I guess, but like, I do think that it's important to like know self-defense, like as a police officer, and know like how to, deal with yourself hand to hand, I suppose. But at the end of the day, like, if you're putting up that much of a fight, like, I'm gonna tase you. I don't know. Like, I have these things for a reason. Like, I'm not gonna just not use it because of my manhood or whatever. So you've also mentioned in these last few minutes that you also want to be a police officer, but you also want to continue fighting. Okay, so like, if you had to drop one, let's start with this. If you had to focus on one, which one would you focus on?
Oof, that's really tough. I'd probably say I'd focus on MMA because I spent so much time doing it. Like that's just where like my passion is, where my heart is. But that's a tough one.
Now, what makes you want to be a police officer?
I want to like serve my community. I want to like help people. I just want to be a role model, and I can also like if things go bad, like I can protect myself or protect whoever I'm trying to protect. Really.
Sure.
So, I think I'll be a great cop because like I've seen both sides. You know, I've seen the bad side. You know, being adopted and stuff. Seen some things, and then also I've seen the good side. So I think if someone's like having a bad day, like they're just having a bad day. They're not like a criminal. They're just having a bad day.
Yeah. Okay. And so, do you think there's going to be a struggle with you keeping up both? Like, I mean, like, do they already expect you, or like the department that you've been communicating with, like, that you are going to have fights and you're going to have to travel or whatever? Like, is that going to be built into your schedule? Like, how do you expect that to go?
Well, you can accumulate comp time and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I don't think that would be an issue.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like it's no different than my construction. My construction was long days on every day.
Yeah.
So I think I'll have more time to train, really.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have kids. I don't have a wife. You know, that's my passion. That's my outside thing that I do outside of work. So I don't think that'd be an issue. I've already talked to the chief, the guy, the recruiter, and you know, I told him like I still plan on pursuing MMA.
Yeah.
And he was kind of like, oh, you know, I understand that's your passion. You know, I'm just doing both careers at once. That's all.
Mm-hmm. And so, I'll ask you this. So, do you plan on starting a family at some point?
Yeah, of course. You just got to meet the right gal.
Yeah. And your family right now, do they have a problem, or do they have trouble watching you fight?
Yeah. My parents are old-fashioned, so yeah, they don't like it. But at the same time, they support me. You know.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
My dad will. My mom sometimes goes to the fights, sometimes she doesn't.
Okay.
She'll put it on the TV at my house. My dad won't even watch it.
Really?
No, he just wants to know if I won.
Okay.
That's all he wants to know.
I feel like it's usually the reverse, but that's
I know.
interesting.
Yeah, he's just. They're both just pacifists. You know?
Yeah. Okay. And so, I guess the last question is, where do you feel like you got this fighting spirit from?
I don't know. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I don't really like know my birth parents. So I kind of just I love the competitiveness. You know, I don't really know where it all comes from.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I just love it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's hard to explain where your passions are or where they come from, but now that you have it, now you know what you want to do, which is all, I guess, that really matters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so I feel like I learned a lot, honestly, about like how fighting works and about like the Massachusetts scene, but also about how to juggle and the importance of police officers being able to defend themselves and vice versa, and just not having to lean on, you know, dire forces in order to de-escalate situations.
No, you shouldn't. No,
Yeah.
I think that everyone should learn how to defend themselves. Even like, you know, a girl, like just a 16-year-old girl, in, you know, in school or whatever. You know, I think she should learn. I think most women should. You don't know when you need it. You know?
And like you said, it will really give you a whole new level of confidence.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No matter like what your size is or your height or your weight, like having that in the back of your mind will really, you know, give you that level of confidence that you didn't know you could have.
I also noticed, because I do like a little bit of teaching with the kids. I've only done it a handful of times, but there was one kid when he first started, he was very, very shy. Like he wouldn't talk to anybody.
Okay.
And then like 3 months later, you can't get him to stop talking.
Really?
Yeah.
That's great to see.
Yeah,
really,
it is. Yeah.
You really bring people out of their shell.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, thank you everyone for watching. This has been my conversation with Miguel Sevasin, and, you know, root for him. You can find him on social media. Hopefully he has a long, illustrious career ahead of him. And thank you everyone for watching. Catch us in the next episode. Peace.